Welcome to this week's episode of Classroom Horror Stories. Today we're diving into all things administration. So grab something cuddly, some snacks, and let's get into it. While I was filling out IEP paperwork in our cumulative files room, the principal starts chatting with me and suddenly asks if I'm single. I tell her I've been in a happy relationship for a little over a year. She says, "That's too bad. You and my son would make a great couple," and then proceeds to keep talking him up. A matchmaking principal, we love that. At the time, I was a regular substitute at school. The lead principal saw me in the hallway and asked me to step into an office to talk to him. I was floored. The school was so big, I didn't even think he knew I existed. I'm walking in thinking he's going to tell me I'm doing a great job because the assistant principals thought so. He closes the door to the office and starts yelling at me. I felt like a deer caught in the headlights. I was in such shock that every word he said sounded like the Charlie Brown teacher. One of the APs walked in and noticed the look on my face. She walked over and said, "Not her." The lead principal said, "Oh," and walked away. That was 15 years ago, and I still have no idea what was going on or what he was talking about. No apology is wild. That's wild. During an evaluation in my 26-year teaching, my first-year principal, who had never been a classroom teacher, gave me the lowest scores of my career. At our post-conference, he said, "If you would just stick to the script, you'd be a really good teacher." I told her that I already was a really good teacher and left her office without signing the paperwork. See, what's happening is so many different curriculums are coming out, and these admin and higher ups want these teachers to stick to the script, but that's not what makes teachers good teachers. While I was working as a paraprofessional, my own children were also attending the school I worked for. There were some issues my son was having in the classroom, so the principal called me on the phone to discuss what happened while I was literally upstairs working in my kindergarten class. She even introduced herself as the principal of my son's school on the phone call, like she didn't remember that I was an employee in her own building. I couldn't believe it. How do you mess that up? My principal, after having to chase a runner student, told me, "I get paid too much to chase students." Pardon? That would qualify you to chase students, I would think. I worked at an alternative school and we had a terrible start one morning. Several fights, they came pouring off the bus, 2 staff members injured, and the electric went out. My principal called me into her office, grabbed both my hands, and told me she had heard I had broken a mirror that morning. It was a joke I had made with a coworker, and this was the reason all these bad things were happening, and we needed to pray the devil away. Then she proceeded to start a very lengthy and earnest prayer to Jesus to cast the devil out of me. I wish I was making this up. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry, so I just let her do it while I was thinking, so none of those things happened because we have a lunatic for a boss? Last day before Christmas break, principal calls my whole 7th grade team for a meeting at the end of the day. She said, "Not that you need to, but I want to know why none of you wished me a Merry Christmas today or gave me a present." The audacity.